Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Acupuncture involves stimulating body walls like skin and muscle to produce therapeutic effect. It can be used for a very wide range of conditions: acute pain, chronic pain, and respiratory conditions, skin problems, and gastric problems. So if you can imagine your body is a city. So in a city, there are big roads, highways, there are small roads, there are laneways. So if everything's fine, then traffic goes nicely. So when there's a car breaks down, and the traffic will jammed up. And if the broken car is not being fixed, the traffic jam will become worse and worse. Let's imagine in the body there are meridians. And in these meridians, we have qi flow, we have energy flow. Say, for instance, if you hurt your back, and the local muscle will become very tight, and this kind of tightness is a way of blocking the qi flow. So to restore that, to reduce that problem, we have to put needle into the local area to help the broken car in a way, but also we will put needles away from low back to divert traffic, to restore the qi flow.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Philippines Uncut. I am your host, Buddy Kunanan. Now, in this show, we talk about everything under the sun, and today we are taking a break from politics, and we are talking about one of our best advocacies here on Philippines Uncut, and that is health and wellness and alternative medicine. And today we're talking about that age-old Chinese tradition of acupuncture. Joining us on the show are Eddie Yang and Hans Palacios. To my right is Mr. Yang. Yes. He is a acupuncture specialist and practitioner.
Yes.
And beside him is Hans Palacios, who's been here many times on the show, and he is a alternative medicine practitioner and advocate, among other things. So welcome, Hans. Welcome, Mr. Yang, to Philippines Uncut.
Good evening, buddy.
Good evening. Now, let's have some introductions first, but let's start with you, Hans, muna. For people who are just tuning in now and getting to see Hans Palacios on the show, who is Hans Palacios?
Well, I'm basically a natural health advocate, so I've guested in your show so many times for various reasons, GMOs, cancer, vaccines, and all that. So I'm really into alternative medicine, and I'm actively pushing for it. See?
Yes, yes. Now, what led you to this alternative medicine field? Because you're also involved in many other things,
yeah,
like politics and
yeah.
community development.
As I said, I think over 9 years ago, I bogged down. I felt like I was 60 years old, and I was really alarmed at the state of my health. And I was friends with Cory Quirino and some other friends in the industry, and then we explored that path. I started to use alternative medicine as a main way of healing myself, restoring my health. And then from that point on, I started to become an advocate. I went through the circuit for products, supplements, methods, and all that. So I was doing it with the likes of Gary C. and so many others.
Okay. Yes. Okay, but Mr. C, Mr. Yang, tell us about your background in acupuncture. How did you get involved in this, and what else are you involved in aside from acupuncture?
Well, I started treating the nuns and priests more than 10 years ago, and until more and more patients started to come for treatment.
Okay, but how did you get involved in acupuncture in the first place? Was this something that you had been practicing a long time ago professionally, or was this something that you had to study? How did you get involved in this?
I studied this also from China.
Yes.
But it's really my hobby.
Okay. But how did you become an acupuncturist? This is something, I mean, professionally, I understand you do operate a clinic now.
Yes,
And
we have.
is this a full-time job at the
Yes,
moment?
full-time job.
No, but how long have you been doing this full-time?
I think more than 15 years.
Wow, okay, okay. And then you studied in China,
Yes.
and then, as you said, you began by treating priests and nuns and monks.
Yes,
So what
for
happened
free, for
after
free,
that?
yeah.
It started to pick up, and then?
And then we could not support the expenses anymore. So my wife told me we should open a bigger clinic, which we should charge people.
Yes, yes. And I understand now even your son has joined the
Yes.
family business as an acupuncturist.
Yes.
Okay. Now, okay, let's talk about acupuncture. What kind of acupuncture do you practice? Are there different schools of acupuncture?
Yeah, there are a lot of schools in
Yes.
China.
Yes.
We follow the old ancient way, not like the modern acupuncturists. They just put in 2 or 3 or 5 needles.
Okay.
Well, with us, we put at least 30 needles.
30.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. Now, what is the difference between 5 needles and how come there are 5, 10 needles and 30 needles? How come such
Well,
a
for
big?
me, the difference is like if a doctor tells you to take antibiotic 3 times a day,
Mm,
and you just take it once a day, you won't get well.
mm, mm.
It's just like putting less needles.
Yes, yes. Okay. Now, okay, let's define acupuncture. What is acupuncture if we are to define it for our viewers now?
Acupuncture is correcting the chi of the body, the
Mm.
energy points of the body,
Okay.
correcting the yin and yang.
The balance.
Yes, the balance of the body energy. So
Okay.
that way, if the energy is quite balanced, you won't get sick anymore.
Really? No,
Yeah.
because it's interesting, Hans, no, the video that we had before we came on, the lady who is an acupuncture practitioner, she's a doctor as well, and she likened the body's energy flow to a
Yes,
city,
yes,
to
that-
traffic. No, is that a correct representation
Yes,
of?
that's very correct.
Yes,
Very correct.
yes. Now, when you talk about energy, this chi, what is that exactly? What is chi? Is it define chi?
Chi is when your body is unstable.
Yes. Okay.
Like your left hand should move the same with the right hand.
Mm, mm.
If the chi is not normal, you cannot move it at the same time.
Oh, pero what is chi? I mean, hard to define. I mean,
It's the energy.
yeah, but when you say energy, it's also a very broad term. When you say energy, what does it mean exactly? Life? Is it
It's life. It's your
Yes.
life. It's your life.
Hans, would you like to add something to the whole concept of chi?
In the alternative terms, it's what you call homeostasis,
Okay,
which is balance.
okay.
So that's what we aspire to have, balance in the body. And if there's a disruption in the balance, in acupuncture's case, they're going to correct that. And you saw the opening spiel earlier. They were talking about the highways being disrupted. There was traffic, and then it bogged down. And when that bogs down, things tend to happen because the communication from the brain to the different parts of the body don't occur properly. So you have organs which malfunction, food is not digested properly, or the distribution of nutrients is not done properly also, and then it becomes complicated. Or, let's say the kidneys don't function as they should, or the liver. So once you disrupted that chi or the balance, things go wrong. So it's important to have that balance all the time.
How is, Mr. Yang, how is the chi disrupted? How is the energy of the body disrupted? What disrupts it?
If you get sick,
Yeah. Okay.
the flow will stop at certain points, and the energy would get built up there. If it gets built up here, your left side would get painful. Whatever hits the meridian lines will stop functioning.
There, that's another interesting term because that lady who came out on the video before we came on talked about meridians
Yes.
and chi flow. What is a meridian?
Meridians are the lines of the points from the brain to the individual organs.
Okay. Okay. And how many of these do we have? I mean, do these run all over our body? And
Yes, it runs all over the body.
okay.
Before, they used to follow the 365 points of the body.
Okay. 365 points of the body.
Yes,
okay.
but what I noticed for these past few years, it seems to have evolved to more than 365.
Where are the usual meridian points of the body? The main meridian points for
Oh,
for
it's
that
all
matter?
over the body, over here, like that. But what we notice also, if you get sick, it moves a little.
Okay. Okay.
So if you don't know the correct meridian point, you just stick in the needle, the patient won't get well at all.
So how do you locate the correct meridian point? For
From the
instance?
pulse.
From the pulse.
Yes.
Now, okay. So I know a little bit about Chinese medicine. I mean, I've been to China, and as all tourists who go to China, they're always brought to a traditional Chinese medicine place. And what the traditional Chinese doctor did was feel my pulse, look at my tongue,
Yes.
and pretty much he told me a whole lot of things, like I have fatty liver, etc. All this other stuff. But this happened years ago. Now, do you do the same thing in your practice? How do you diagnose a patient?
We actually see everything from this part. All the organs are here.
From the wrist.
Yes, from the wrist. Left and right.
So example, if you were to diagnose me now, how would you do it?
I would touch you this way.
Okay,
like
all
that.
right, okay,
I
And-
know what's happening on the left side of your body already.
all right.
And if I touch the right side, I'll know what's wrong with the...
Just by touching the pulse.
Yes.
But how? I mean, I can feel my pulse if I hold Hans's wrist. I can
But
feel
you
his pulse.
feel the regular heart pulse. You
Yeah.
don't feel the organ pulse.
Wow. How does one learn how to feel the organ pulse? Is this something
They
you're
teach
born
it
with,
in
or
China.
you're taught this?
Yes, but you should have more practice, and so you will get sharper.
Wow. So it's really a touch. It really is based
Yes,
on
it's really a touch.
and feel. No, it's not example like a Western doctor. If I went for a diagnosis, blood chem,
Yeah, we don't need that.
X-ray,
We don't need that usually.
stethoscope, BP, all these modern tools, hands. No, but
Nothing invasive.
not invasive at all. How accurate is this, Mr. Yang? Is your
100%.
diagnosis compared to let's say, is it very accurate?
It's very accurate, I'm very sure.
Hans.
Well, yeah. I got sick recently,
Yeah.
and he was on top of my mind already because I'm an alternative, and I wanted to look for something else, and I knew that I had to see him. So I called him. He told me to come over. He told me what was wrong with me. It was not what I thought it was. I woke up one morning, couldn't walk. My toe was swollen,
Yeah.
and my presumption was uric acid. It was uric acid. It was a symptom, but the cause wasn't evident. So I went to him. Normally, my friends who have uric acid problems, when they have gout, 5 days to 10 days, they can't get out. I have friends who are like that, businessmen. I went to him noon time, no?
No,
Went to him noon time. I had to go somewhere at 5 o'clock. All he told me was that, but 5 o'clock, you should be washing your foot in the water. You'll feel the pain, but after that, you're okay. After the session, I did that 5 o'clock wash. By the evening, I was okay. I was walking around already. I seen people normally 4 or 5 days. That's how the fastest way when it's a major gout attack. This was my first. And then he told me where it was coming from. He said, you have a problem with your kidneys.
Yeah.
He was the one feeling. And then he gave me a profile of what had happened prior to this, how I deteriorated to this point. You see, for the previous week, I was living on adrenaline. It's election time and so many things. So your elevated adrenaline levels, and by Tuesday, when it was all over and done with, the body already bumigay na.
Yes, yes.
So it started to manifest itself. Then he told me, itong nangyari sa'yo, ganito. For months na nangyayari ito, itong deterioration and all that. And yan na. Yan huli na, yung huling signal. See?
How are you able to diagnose Hans, Mr. Yang? How did you do it? Just by touching his
Same method.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Let's talk about acupuncture. What can it cure? What can acupuncture treat?
It relieves you, it doesn't cure you.
Okay.
But in some cases, we notice that they tell us that they get well. But from our point of view, you really get relief only.
Only relief. So it doesn't cure. But how does it help in the healing process?
It makes the body back to normal much faster.
So what you're saying is that acupuncture doesn't cure you, but it allows your body, you can correct me if I'm wrong, it allows your body to heal itself faster.
Yes, yes.
Helps the body achieve that balance that's needed
Yes.
to heal itself faster.
And eventually you will get well.
Okay. Now, what kind of illnesses can acupuncture help in treating?
Almost all.
Cancer, for instance?
Yes, it also helps in cancer.
How can it help in treating cancer?
The pain,
Okay.
gets you relief on the pain,
Yes.
and the reproduction of the cells would increase much faster.
Yeah. How long is the treatment for acupuncture usually?
It all depends, but usually 40 minutes to 1 hour.
40, but how many sessions are we talking about?
It's not always the same. It always depends on how the patient will react to it.
Okay, okay, great. So wait, we have to pause for a break, but we'll be back and we'll talk more about acupuncture, and also later on we'll have a demonstration on acupuncture when
Okay.
Philippines Uncut returns.
Lư thương tiểu khổ Lư thương tiểu khổ ว่าถอยเลยเหม่งเมืองเหล่าสิว่าเลือหล่อจำอย่าปักว่าเลือจะเห่าแซ่เลือเทวะว่าถอยเลือเลือเหม่งเกี้ยวว่าละมวยอ๋อห่อนะอังหม้อเลือป่อยจุดแม่ขอเที่ยวโม่ไปก่อนพ่อแน่ว่าจ่อเซ็งแซ่ซาจับหัวมีไก่วงห้วย
Welcome back to Philippines Uncut. I'm Buddy Kunanan. Tonight's show is about acupuncture in All About Acupuncture. And that video was actually an insurance video, but we just wanted to highlight, to show you that video, to show you as a parody about what acupuncture is often perceived to be. Now, welcome back, Hans. Welcome back, Mr. Yang, to our second segment. Okay, let's talk about that image. Alam niyo po, that image that we saw is a typical stereotype when people think about acupuncture. They think about an old place in Chinatown where, you know, perhaps it's a bit rustic, it's a bit and many needles and medyo dimly lit. That's what the perception of people when they talk about acupuncture. What is your clinic like? What is your practice like, Mr. Yang?
No, before ganun din kami sa house eh.
Ah, talaga?
Oh, medyo dark yung place. Yung
Yes.
curtains, lahat kami lang gumawa.
Yes, yes.
Pero ngayon, sa clinic, di na pwede ganun eh.
Oho.
So, meron na regular tables, massage table,
Oho.
may partitioners.
Oho. Pero, I mean, the origins of acupuncture, lalo sa Pilipinas, talagang umpisa to sa Chinatown, no? Because, I mean, even before, when I hear people say about acupuncture, sasabihin, oh, magpapa-acupuncture ako, sa Binondo ako pupunta. So, it really started with the Chinese community in Binondo.
In fact, most people, when you talk to them about acupuncture, they will point you in that direction.
Yes,
That
yes.
The practitioners are there.
Yes.
Now it's mainstream, and you can see it in the Ortigas area. There's some in Makati.
Yes.
So it's fairly mainstream. No, it's just like yoga already.
Yes. How many clients do you have now, Mr. Yang? And how do you reach out to your, I mean, do you market? Nag-advertise ba kayo?
Hindi kami nag-advertise. Ano lang kami talaga, referral lahat eh.
Word of mouth.
Oo.
And yet, very busy yung practice nyo. I understand. That's why you said,
We average
full-time na ho
20,
kayo.
25 patients.
A day?
Yes.
Well, that's a good business, huh? Very good business. Okay. Now, let's talk about the diagnosis again. As you said nga, when Hans was explaining to us earlier about his condition, you diagnosed him using yung pakiramdam mo sa pulse. Now, let's go back to that. When you talk about yung sa pulse, what exactly is it that tells you? Is it like, for instance, so when I feel my pulse, you know, I just
Nafe-feel
feel
mo yung beat
bump
eh.
o yung beat.
Oo.
Pero how do you know that, let's say, if there's a minute, very small change po sa beat ng pulse, paano nyo po alam na related po yun sa kidney o sa liver o sa right foot ko? I mean, how are you able to...
Nandito lahat,
Oo.
makikita mo lahat, nandyan eh.
Oo.
Tabi-tabi sila eh.
Oho. Oho.
It's like Braille, I suppose.
No, because, ayun nga, kasi parang for a lay person like me,
Oh, mahirap.
when I think about diagnosing a person's complete physiological state using yung pulse lang, parang ang hirap po paniwalaan paano nangyayari yan, paano ko pwedeng mangyari yan. So, when you do it, like example, in my case, so, pag ginanon nyo, you can feel changes ho sa pulse.
Meron na eh.
Yes.
Like ngayon, pag touch ko sa'yo, ganyan,
Oho.
alam ko left side ang body mo, left foot mo nagpapawis, right foot hindi eh.
Oho. Oho.
Makikita agad eh.
Yes. Okay. And then, another question po. I've seen people advertise acupuncture. I've seen it performed on some clinics. And iba-ibang style ho. Yung iba may incense. Yung iba gumagamit ng kuryente.
Meron din
Oo.
ganun.
What is the purpose of incense and electricity? I've seen people use battery-operated devices with acupuncture. What is the
Para
use of these?
i-push yun bara eh.
Oho. How exactly does it do it? Like, I mean,
Like, ang brain kasi,
okay.
siya ang nagko-control ng organs, no?
Mhm.
So, yun, lines nga katulad kanina sa lines ng traffic, barado.
Yes.
So, tutusukan yun meridian lines ng needles, tapos lalagyan ng electrode, mag-open siya more, pupush niya back eh.
Mhm. Mhm.
Kasi every organ, every needle represents one part of the organ.
Mhm.
Nagsusumbong siya sa brain, ano problema niya.
Oh, yes. Let's talk about bad chi. When someone has bad energy flow, what illnesses, Hans, can be traced to having bad chi?
Most of it, because you're talking about thousands and thousands of pathways moving in synchronicity, in homeostasis.
Yeah.
And then wherever the blockage happens or where the balance is disrupted, that accounts for a certain part of the body.
Okay.
So wherever it happens, that's where you're going to be affected.
Mhm.
So in most cases, in all cases, they're able to say where that stoppage is. But
Yes.
at the same time, they have to make sure that everything moves in synchronicity. That's why when you see people using 30, 40 needles, it's to maintain that also.
Amazing, huh? Amazing. Now, how is acupuncture being received by the medical community? Western conventional medical community.
I think it's pretty much part of the norm already. I mean, you cannot discount it because people are looking after, they're doing exercise, they're going to the gyms, they're doing yoga, they're meditating, they're doing all sorts of things. Why not acupuncture? It's been there from the very beginning. So you cannot ignore it.
Yeah. No, kasi all these concepts that pinag-usapan po natin, Mr. Yang, like yung chi, meridian points, all these, when you talk to people involved sa Western medicine, this is something that you'll never hear from them, di ba? Energy flow,
Body.
ganyan, o di ba?
Western medicine or Eastern medicine, the population's the same. So if you have on this side a lot of Eastern medicine believers, it would be hypocritical to push Western and not believe in the Eastern. So that's what's happening right now.
Yes.
Because the East and the West are mixing together, internet's there, television's there, and the populations are now intermingling. So they're sharing the ideas. So that's what's happening. So even the Easterners are going to the hospitals, the Westerners are going to the alternative clinics. So that's the new medicine right now.
Yes. Mr. Yang, yung let's say doctors, your doctor friends o yung mga doctors na nakikilala nyo, ano po yung reaction nila sa acupuncture? Ano po how is it being received by them?
Maganda naman kasi maganda reaction sa kanila eh.
Oh.
Like, yung ibang tao,
Naniniwala ba sila ho sa
naniniwala
acupuncture?
sila. 1 year na sila nagbe-maintenance medicine sa, let's say, sa heart or sa prostate problem. 2 years na. 3 session, PSA mo, normal na.
Wow, really?
Oo.
PSA, we're talking, yung the indicator for prostate cancer, no?
Tapos yung mga nagtitake ng gamot for BP, maintenance, mga 18,000 a month. After 4 sessions, mga 5,000 lang yun. Bawas ng bawas yun.
No, but Mr. Yang, you said earlier na yung acupuncture cannot cure a person. It can only treat the symptom or alleviate the pain, halimbawa. Pero how can you now explain kung bakit yung, let's say, yung sabi nyo nga, yung PSA biglang bumaba?
Yun ang reaction ng body.
Yung body.
kasi-
So essentially, acupuncture helps the body, as you said earlier, heal itself.
Yes. You're opening the lines of you're tinatanggal mo yung mga bara eh.
Okay.
Those avenues which are the blockages, so the body could have addressed the problem, are now open again. So the brain is able to
Yes.
communicate with
Yes.
the different organs. It's telling the organs, ito yung function mo. You have to keep doing this because this other organ is affected. So that's
Galing, no?
So when he says that it's not the cure, but it's the catalyst for the cure.
Galing. No, actually, it reminds me of a book that you gave me, Hans, long time ago, yung Kevin Trudeau.
Yes.
And he said in that book that medicines don't cure the body. No amount of medicine can cure the body. It's the body that will cure itself.
Totoo.
The medicines
Totoo
address
yan.
only the symptoms.
Oh.
If the symptom is a headache or the symptom is dizziness or whatever it is, the medicine is going to suppress that.
Yes,
When you
yes.
suppress that, presumably the body is going to take comfort and try to heal itself. But
Yes.
if the body is not in synchronicity, then you have a problem because the body is not able to heal itself.
And the only way that the body can heal itself, Mr. Yang, correct me if I'm wrong, is if that balance is achieved.
Yes.
That balance, sabi nyo nga, yin and yang. How interesting, how very tied up with Eastern philosophy really, this practice of acupuncture. Ang galing ho, ang galing. Now, how is this different from acupressure? Do you practice acupressure, Mr.
No,
Yang?
we don't.
Oh.
Acupressure kasi, buong body mo, pinapress nila eh. So, question ko sa'yo, hindi ba?
Oo.
Pag-acupressure sa paa mo, lahat organs mo nandyan eh.
Oh.
Kaya mo mag-CR, mag-wiwi, kumain, sabay? Hindi mo kaya eh. Yun ang nangyayari sa acupressure. Press yan ng press tuloy-tuloy. Lahat kasi ng organs may time mag-function eh.
Okay, okay. Explain it further ho. What do you mean may time mag-function?
Oh,
ho yung-
may time mag-function. Like ang liver, pag may medyo masama ang condition ng liver ng patient dadating sa amin, pinapabalik namin next time ng 1 p.m. na. Yun ang time mag-a-accept ng full treatment ang liver.
Okay. Oh, okay. So, pati yung timing nyo ho ng pag-treat nyo sa mga pasyente,
Oh, may time
may
talaga.
timing
yan.
talaga. You
Oh.
can't just, halimbawa, sabihin ko po sa inyo, Mr. Yang, ako po, busy po ako ngayong araw to. I can only come at 5 o'clock, ganyan.
Hindi ka namin tatanggapin.
Okay, how interesting.
Kasi no use lang eh. No use lang eh.
Yes. How interesting. In your case, Hans, yung problema ni Hans, what time, was it a specific time that you went to see
Well, I asked
Mr.
him. I
Yang?
told him what I was feeling, and I told him,
Yes.
"Is it okay if I come at this time?" And he said, "Yeah, better come at this time." That's what he told me. I didn't realize that there was a logic behind the time that was coming.
How interesting. Do you, Mr. Yang, meron ba kayong kino-complement dito aside from acupuncture? Do you also use Chinese herbs?
Meron kami Chinese herbs.
So, kasama rin yun sa training niyo when you
kasama
do
din.
acupuncture, knowing what herbs to prescribe to patients. Okay. Hans, how about in your case? Have the herbs worked for you? And
Well, I'm in the process now. I'm doing a kidney cleanse and also something for. I'm using some banabati. He told me to, told me where to get it pa nga. So
Yes.
in which part of the metro there it's in abundance because apparently you just don't trust what they market in the groceries because it's not selective.
yeah.
You have to look at what you're getting.
Yes.
So,
Mr. Yang, how many needles did you put into Hans?
and say that 106.
106. Bakit napakaraming needle ang nilagay niyo dito? Hindi ko maisip 106 needles into my friend here. Why so many needles? Kasi sabi niyo kanina 30 needles.
Ibang tao kasi mag-treat. Kunyari, dadating ka, masakit lang paa mo. Treat nila paa mo lang eh. Kami yung buong system, clean namin eh.
Nice, nice.
That's why when he explained to me that time that this was just the end, the last sign. It was just a symptom, the swelling toe and all that.
Yes.
It was a symptom of what was the bigger problem. And along the line, you have to treat all those meridians that have need attending to. So that's what he did.
In terms of cancer patients, you've helped a lot of patients recover
Madami na,
from
madami
cancer?
na, madami na.
Usually, which cancer, which type of cancers are you most, let's say, most successful at helping?
Breast cancer,
Very successful one there.
very successful.
Okay. I'm still trying to imagine Hans with 106 needles. Mukha na siyang malaking pin cushion ho nun.
We're going to have somebody here later too.
Masakit. Okay, last question before we stop, before we go and go to actual demonstration of acupuncture. Masakit pa ho yung acupuncture. I'm sure a lot of people watching now.
May areas masakit, may areas hindi masakit.
Okay, Pierre, narinig mo yun ha. May areas na masakit, may areas na hindi. But in general, it's nothing to be afraid of.
No, hindi.
Kasi alam nyo, like me, I'm sure a lot of people have a phobia of needles. Personally, I'm very afraid of needles. I don't like needles. I like to avoid needles whenever possible. Pero ika nga,
wala.
sabi nga nyo, no need to be afraid or worried about needles. Okay. Hans, before we go, kasi I'm not sure if you'll join us for the last segment. Would you like to say something to the audience?
Yeah, I mean, it's if you're looking for answers to or at a loss already at your conditions, this would be a good alternative. It's a good place to explore and learn because it makes you more aware of the body and how to take care of it. And acupuncture is a very, very good vehicle for knowing about your body.
Excellent. Thank you, Hans. And we'll see you soon on Philippines Sun again as we cover more issues. And Mr. Yang, tayo po, will stay behind for our third segment where we will do an actual demonstration on acupuncture on our good friend Pierre, who is now waiting in the studio. All right. So stay tuned for more of Philippines Uncut and acupuncture when the show returns. See you. Welcome back to Philippines Uncut. I'm Buddy Kunana. Tonight's topic is acupuncture in All About Acupuncture. And joining us now, we've said goodbye to Hans Palacios, but joining us still is Mr. Eddie Yang, and we're joined now by his son, Mr. Edward J. Yang Jr. Yes, Jr. And Mr. Pierre Tunsis. Okay, now let's start first with Jay. Jay, introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, my nickname's Jay, and of course I'm the son, and I'm helping out my dad in the clinic.
Now, what got you involved in helping out with the family business in acupuncture? Was there pressure from the folks?
No, not really. It's something worth doing, right? So you're helping others, and it's something worth doing.
Now, did you have to study this?
Yes, I also studied in China.
Okay.
Then, of course, my mentor.
Of course. Whom better to learn from than your old man, no?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Pierre, how about you?
Yeah, I was actually asked by Hans to see if I could be on the show and be treated by acupuncture, and I was very interested. However, I did not reveal that I'm feeling anything wrong, but I am. I'm not saying it yet.
All right.
I want to see, and I've always been very interested in acupuncture, and here I am.
You've never had acupuncture in your life.
Never.
So, what are your I mean, any preconceived notions, any ideas about acupuncture? What are your apprehensive, perhaps?
I'm scared.
Why are you scared? Why are you scared?
Needles. We're talking of needles here, and I was listening earlier. I was saying, okay, yeah, 2, 3 needles, fine. I was hearing 100 what needles? Excuse me.
Well, Hans
Okay.
had 106 needles. So, are you ready for? I don't think we'll do 106 needles, but what we might do today is we might, do a little teaser, let's say a little intro with you into what acupuncture and the treatment of acupuncture is really all about.
Yeah.
So wait, let's start now, and I'll leave you now with Mr. Yang. So Mr. Yang, perhaps Pierre, you could examine Pierre and show us exactly how one diagnoses someone using the acupuncture method. So as we can see, he's checking your pulse, left and right pulse.
It's your lumbar 3 and 4.
Lumbar 3 and
Yes,
4.
3
In
and
layperson, in
Yes,
layman's terms,
yes.
what do you mean by that?
A portion of the disc is not aligned.
So it means you have back problems.
He's absolutely correct.
Really?
I've never told him, and I've never mentioned anything. He's absolutely correct.
Oh my gosh. How could you tell na it's lumbar 3 and 4? I mean, number one, the back has so many, I mean, when you say lumbar 3 and 4, I assume there's more than There's several lumbars, no? And how could you narrow it down to
You could see the
back
specific
problem?
place that is damaged.
Just by holding his pulse,
Yes.
touching his pulse. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So, what would be the next phase of the treatment? Let's say after you diagnosed, after you touch the pulse and feel the pulse, and
We
you
start putting in the needles.
start putting the needles. Okay, so unfortunately this is on TV, so we're going to do an upper body. I think
Yes,
upper
upper
body
body.
treatment. Now, normally, sir, when we do some sort of demonstration, I like to ask the guest if I can try a hand also.
Yes,
In
you
a-
can,
can
you
I
can,
try
you
it?
can, you
Put
can.
some needles in our friend here.
Yes,
Really?
yes, you can, you can.
No. Okay, no.
I have
Okay.
to ask my agent
You know,
for a
no.
talent fee.
Kidding. All right. So, Pierre, let's get on with it. So, I brought a massage table here. This is my own massage table. So, Pierre will lie down,
Okay.
belly
Face down,
and then so this
All right.
rope here,
Yeah. You have music.
Di magbalat ka na.
and I'm going to keep the lapel next to you. So, I'm going to ask you questions while you're being punctured. So, if you're feeling anything or so take it out first. Now, hold on to this, and then take off your shirt and get on the table. Okay, so kayo naman Mr. Yang, yung ginagawa nyo, you put alcohol, and basic disinfectant, and okay. So, here we go. Okay, all right, so,
Basa na.
okay. So I'm gonna put the mic here. There you go. It's okay, you can make yourself comfortable, Pierre. Thank you. All right, so, Jay,
Yes.
let's talk about what your father's doing now,
He's
step
gonna-
by step.
Yeah, he's of course first of all he's gonna wipe his back with alcohol.
Okay.
Then he's gonna place the needles.
Now these needles, let's show them to the audience first, Mr. Yang, before you insert them into Pierre. So these are
Can I-
special needles.
Can I show this? Can I show this?
Okay, sure, Jay.
Okay,
Go ahead.
So
Sige po, teka lang po. While Jay will show us needles, okay?
So-
Explain to the audience, Jay, what are these needles?
alright, so these are the needles. It's
Mahaba.
sterilized, and
Okay,
of course you can see there's an expiration date
okay.
for the needles. What I did here, I already opened it because we don't have time right now.
Sure.
So it's open.
Sure.
But normally it's packed in these.
Now these are
Let's see.
special needles,
Yeah.
no? I mean, can you buy these anywhere, or you really have a supplier for this? These are special acupuncture needles. You can't just put any kind of needle
Actually,
in
we
there.
get it from China,
Yeah.
and these needles are
It's
stainless.
Stainless
Okay.
needle.
Stainless.
And it has a guide tube
Okay.
that you use, individually packed with a guide tube. So this is what we use.
Okay. How many needles, Mr. Yang, are you going to put into Pierre's back now?
2, 4, 6, 8, around 30.
30. All right. So I won't stand in the way. So
Can I start now?
Yes, please. Now, what you did kanina was you were finding the meridian points. Is that what you're doing? Because I saw you do a movement in his
Yes,
back.
I put my fingers like that.
Okay, and that's supposed
When
to
I
do
move
what?
my fingers like that,
Yeah.
I get to know what's wrong inside.
All right. Okay. Sige po. We'll leave you to put the needle. Whoa. Okay. There's one. Okay. Now, Jay, when you
Yes.
put the needles into his back, wow, Pierre, this looks nasty. I tell you. Oh. Okay.
Actually, he won't.
wait,
Feel, he won't feel
So
anything.
no. Okay. How deep do the needles go usually when you put them in someone's back like that? Or
It depends.
someone's body?
Like, for example,
Because I can see they're putting. It's not going all the way in. It's like just that. I
yeah,
would
it's
say maybe
actually-
a
it's
fifth inside.
Yeah,
no?
it's actually half of the needle.
Okay.
So that's how long it goes in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, it works this way.
Yeah.
Because any foreign object that we place in our body, so
Yeah.
our body needs to expel it out or
Yeah.
push it out.
Sure.
So the treatment will also depend if his body detects the needles on his back.
Oh, yeah. And how do you know if his body is detecting the needles on his back? I can see it
So,
getting kind of red.
Yeah,
no?
you can see it. You can see right now that
Yeah. Some are getting quite red.
no, it's the needles like one half inward.
Yeah. No, some are really deep.
So like after I think an hour
Oh.
or so, the needle should pop out on its own.
Really?
Yeah, it will.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it's something foreign. It's
Yeah.
not part of his body, so it's
Yeah.
gonna pop out on its own.
Okay. Now, Pierre, are you feeling anything? Do you feel any sensation in your body? I mean, any pain?
Actually, it's not too bad.
I mean, usually
I
when you're
don't-
pricked by a needle, it's painful. No, you can feel that anyway. But here, I mean, you've
Yeah,
got, I think, 10, 15 needles in your back already. I
I
think.
don't really feel much.
No sensation and no prickly sensation at all.
Well, I
no?
guess the initial tap, I can't say that I feel needles in my back. I
Yeah.
can't say that.
Wow, wow. Okay, so I can see your father putting in randomly up and down the spine. Is there any order to this? I mean,
It depends on a case-to-case basis. So,
okay,
but on his back, there's no specific order.
okay, okay. Now, okay, these meridians are very small, no? How do you know? I mean, like, let's say, how does your father know that he's hitting them exactly? Because he's putting them, kind of fast.
It's based on experience, really.
Wow, so it's really a feeling thing, and
Yeah.
it's something that you know by touch, eh? Okay, now, Mr. Yang, these needles, once they're in Pierre's back, ideally, how long should they be inside?
Once the brain accepts the treatment, knows that there's something wrong with that portion, it will actually push the needle out already.
Okay, okay.
Normally, it takes half an hour to 1 hour.
Yes, yes. Wow. I have to say, Pierre, I mean, these are a lot of needles. Still nothing. Still okay, still nothing.
Well, one or two there I felt.
Which ones exactly?
The ones in my,
This
the
part,
one in,
this part.
yeah, and the one in my, the lowest one actually, the one nearest my belt. I felt that one.
How come he's feeling the ones?
That's the lumbar 3, 4, 5 area.
This is the one that you said
Yes,
that has that he has a problem with.
Yes.
Okay. Now, and by putting this, I mean, okay, when you said he had a problem with this, did you mean that there is some sort of blockage in the energy flow
Yes.
in that area? And what you're doing now is you're going to free it. You're going to make it.
Yes, open the flow.
You're going to make the energy flow much
Yes.
smoother now. Now, okay, wait. What's this in his head? Oh,
That's for the head.
okay. Now he's got one in his head as well. Okay. Is this part of the tree? Oh, wait, okay. Another one. Here you go. Poop. Okay. Wow. Wow. Now, okay. Now, and yet another one. Here you go. Okay. All right. Two more in the head. Is this because the meridian flows all the way from his lower back up until these
Yes,
points in the
yes,
head?
yes.
Uh-huh. Now, ideally, if we were in the clinic now, you would also be putting on his lower,
Yeah.
Yes, over here also.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the lower half of his body.
Yeah, and we also use the moxa.
Yeah,
So-
what is a moxa?
It's a light up.
So I brought it here.
It heats up the needle.
So we need to heat the needle. It's
Yeah.
kind of heat therapy.
Yeah.
It's used to stimulate the nerve.
Yeah. So this is something you light
Yeah.
this.
We need to
with a
light
flame,
it,
and then what do you do with that exactly?
When I heat up the needle,
Yeah.
the needle.
Now it takes really specially trained hands to do this. If I were to do this on Pierre now, he would feel it now. He would feel the needle going in.
Not really.
Not too much.
Not really.
Really?
Not too much. You want to try it?
You sure? No. Okay. No. I'm gonna think. No. It's okay. No, it's okay. I don't want to get the lawsuit here. So, okay. No, really?
try it?
Sure. Okay, here, let's do. Okay, this is acupuncture 101. Okay, so Pierre, don't hold me to. Okay, so tell me what I'm supposed to do. Tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Hold one.
Okay, hold one. Okay, and then
Take off the lock
take off the lock.
So that's the lock.
and then stop the needle.
Oh shit!
Oh,
You get another
Sorry,
one.
it fell. Sorry,
You need
sorry.
another one.
Okay, and then take it out like that, and then.
Hold the needle.
You need to push it to the side.
Pero
Like that.
Jay, siguro you do it na lang kasi.
Okay.
Fill out again.
I don't want to mess this
You
up.
should do
No,
like
it's
that.
okay. Try it out.
Okay. Try it out. So, okay. So you take it out like this, and then you
that's
hold
the
the
lock.
needle.
Stop it with the.
Stop it with your finger, like
Yeah.
that. Okay, and
Yeah.
then.
And then put it here.
Oh, just like that.
Yes.
How? Like just put it in his back.
Yes.
How bad could it be? I already have 300
And
needles
then
stuck in my back.
this.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
this one here.
Here, and then,
And then push it in.
just push it.
Yes.
You're sure?
Yes.
Pierre, forgive me. Yeah.
Ow, you're so
and
dead
then
right
hold
now.
it on this part.
Yeah. Hold it, and then
Like that. Hold it this
hold
way.
it,
like
and then
that.
and then.
Push it in.
Okay.
Some more.
Oh, no, it's good. It's good. All right. Okay. So Pierre, how are you doing?
I actually didn't feel
You're-
that. Yeah, I see it.
See. So I'm on my way to being an acupuncturist. No?
It's freaking me out while I see it, but I didn't feel it.
Now, okay, Mr. Yang, we have 3 minutes to go. Let's talk about your plans for the future and maybe a message for the audience. Let's start po with your son, Jay. Go.
Well, our clinic just opened
Yeah.
recently, and it's in Eisenhower Street in the Grand Building. It's at the end of the road, so you won't miss it.
Yeah.
Our clinic hours are from 8 to 2 p.m. and we're closed every Thursday and Sunday.
Okay, excellent. Mr. Yang, any plans for the future to expand the clinic, maybe move to expand it to other parts of the country? Because GNN is all over the country. I'm sure a lot of people are now interested in acupuncture.
Yes, if we get more clients, we will do that.
Okay.
Like now we go to Iloilo almost once a month.
Wow.
Treat patients there.
So you go there for a few days and
2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days, and and how many people do you usually treat in 2 to 3 days?
We get an average of 80 to 100
Wow. Okay. A day.
A day.
a day.
That's amazing.
That's a
Pretty
day.
good business. Okay. Oh, Pierre, how about some last words from you, sweetheart?
Last words?
Yeah.
Like
How was your
last-
experience? How was your experience with acupuncture? Your first experience with acupuncture?
I didn't expect for me not to feel. I expected worse,
Yeah.
and I'm pleasantly surprised.
Even with my novice hands.
Yeah,
Pleasantly
you're
surprised, huh?
great. I think maybe that could be a career for you.
Okay. No, I'll definitely be visiting your clinic soon, for my own personal acupuncture session, and hopefully, in the future, we can have more of these demonstrations here, and as we expose people to the wonders of acupuncture.
Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Jay, Mr. Yang. Thank you very much. And of course, Pierre, thank you very much for being our guinea pig for today. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed Philippines Uncut and learned a lot about acupuncture. Join us again next week on the show where we talk about what matters to you guys, because you guys matter the most. See you next week. Are you okay? No.